helped create the field of disaster robotics, and that's where you use robots, ground, aerial, marine vehicles to help with any aspect of a disaster. I mean, we always think of the response and recovery part, but it's also important to prevent and prepare for disasters. I mean, after all, there's 700 disasters each year. The number isn't changing. The consequences are getting worse. You lose 1 million people to deaths. Another 2.5 million people are disabled or injured or badly dislocated from where they live. There's no chance of economic recovery. And the overall economic recovery runs billions, even on the small disasters. We need to use technologies like unmanned systems to help. You know, even though I want to say that the biggest impact in technology in the next 5 years is going to be disaster robotics, I think driverless cars are going to be the big change. And they're going to impact disaster robotics for 2 reasons. One is they're going to be the adoption of the technology, and the second is they're going to get us thinking like systems engineers again. Classic old school engineering like when I went into it. So first, if you think about driverless cars, now people are like, oh, robots, technology, it's not all Terminator stuff. We can start using it, which is fantastic because it helps the emergency managers think, oh, right. Robots don't have to look like Schwarzenegger or something. But then you start thinking about us as engineers. Now you see, like in driverless cars, it's not just not running over a pedestrian. It's like, oh, holy cow, we got to worry about wireless and GPS and sensors and what are the human factors? And that's causing in education everybody to focus on the bigger picture, the systems. And that gets us back to the idea of what problems are we trying to solve, like in a disaster. The biggest advice I have for any woman going into the field is you get to design your own life. So take advantage of that. I mean, when I was going through engineering, it was all guys, and it was pretty pre-programmed. You were going to get your degree, and then you were going to work 8 to 5, except you weren't because your career required you to go in early and stay late, and you had to do meetings, and you had to wear a suit, and there were special power ties you needed to wear, and everything. You had to move up the corporate ladder, and it was all pre-programmed. Well, for women, we have less of that little pattern. That's wonderful. Sure, there may not be a lot of women ahead of you, but you get to design your own life. You get to create the rules. You go, girl, go.